Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Oge. If it's your first time here, hello, do us click on the red subscribe button, like this video, turn on post notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. Drop your comments on what you think about today's video. Today's video is quite interesting. It's going to pull up a lot of conversation in the comment section, so I would love to hear your opinions and thoughts about this particular video. Today's video is coming from HL. It's titled Talk That Thought. Woman instantly regrets divorcing her husband. Women hitting the wall. I mean, there's been this trend of divorce, child support, and all of those things. Like I said in those videos, before you want to actually divorce the person, you have to think it through properly. Think about your kids, think about your life as a single mother, because women are usually at the receiving end, to be honest. And sometimes the men too are usually at the receiving end. Yeah, these days the roles are flipping, okay? So yeah, so you think about your kids, think about your future, think about your life after the divorce, and weigh your options well before you actually get a divorce. Let's get straight into this video because it's going to be quite interesting.
And I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for feeling that way, even when you're not together.
Welcome back, family. Today, we will review some more crying divorced women who just cannot seem to understand that the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
What's the one thing you wish everyone around you knew about getting divorced?
Everyone always prepares you that whenever you're going through a divorce, losing your husband or wife, you go through a grieving process, grieving for the loss of your marriage, the loss of your hopes and dreams together. But one thing that they really don't prepare you for is the loss of a friend, the loss of your best friend.
Yeah.
The person that you always wanted to tell your day and to tell, your small wins and your small victories. And I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for feeling that way, even when you're not together and haven't been together. Just having that desire to have them as a friend again.
Just another day and another modern woman making an impulse decision to divorce her husband without really thinking about the consequences. I bet that she was convinced that leaving her husband was a good idea by listening to some divorced guru woman on the internet talking about how divorce is wonderful. Most women go to the internet not for learning, but to find someone that will validate the idea that they already had in their mind, because deep down they know that they are not doing the right thing. Check it out.
Is there anyone out there in TikTok land that can tell me what you're supposed to do with your life when you've been in a relationship for 20 plus years with the same person? You have children, you have, built a life together, and then all of a sudden that life is no longer. What are you supposed to do with your life? Like, I work, I'm a registered nurse, I have a career, I guess. I have hobbies, I have, I don't know, a house. I have all the things that I guess you need to live the life, but I don't know how. I don't, do you date other people? Do you sort of, I just don't know. I want to focus on myself. I want to be happy. I want to heal from this whole process that I've been in. But I also want to live life. I also want to have fun. I don't want it to be all about being miserable and feeling sad and just going through the motions of life because my relationship, my marriage broke down. I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to be happy. I want to move on, and I want to just find joy in life again.
I know that most of you just wanted to jump on your screens when you heard the infamous phrase, "I just want to be happy." Trust me, me too. It's the same story over and over and over, again and again and again. It's all about me, 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 without even knowing what they really want. But then they get shocked when the ex-husband move on with his life, like in our next clip.
My husband fell in love with my best friend. Now ex-husband, ex-best friend, but they fell in love. It's now been 4 years, and I wanted to share a very important lesson that I learned. The people that are meant to be in your life will be in your life. nothing will stop them from simply being in your life. If it's so easy for someone to leave, then they were never truly meant to be with you long term anyways. Also, I see people begging people to stay in their life. You really want someone in your life that you have to beg for? No, thank you. And if you're really fighting for someone to stay, don't you value and respect yourself enough to just let them go? I know that divorce is really hard, and I know that sitting in the loneliness is really hard, but it's way better than begging and pleading for someone to see your worth and your value. You are worth so much more than that, and I hope you see that. So from one heartbreak to another, I see you and I love you.
It's amazing how these women will always try to play it cool.
But why is this testimonies coming from just women? I mean, it is not only women that get heartbroken during a divorce. Men go through it too. So I don't know why it's just the women that are just in these videos crying. But you know this trend about women, oh, divorce your husband, especially on social media. You get a lot of people, online in-laws is what they call them. Divorce him, divorce her, you know. So I think one of the foundation problems here is usually the fact that these days a lot of people just rush into marriage, and then when they get into the marriage, the reality of marriage shocks them and they are not able to stand the heat. And then, oh, I want to get a divorce. It's not so easy to get a divorce. Somewhere like here in Nigeria, it is not like, it's a long process, and I'm sure it is almost the same thing in every other country. It is a long process, so you are like stuck with the person for the longest time. And now, before you do that, I think people do not think about their lives after the divorce. You see a lot of people dragging themselves to court because of child support, you know, dragging their kids. Oh, who's going to have full custody, without even thinking about, you know, the state of mind of this child. So children go through it too. It's just that because they're kids, you don't get to hear them speak about it, probably when they are grown, right? So it tells a lot on the kids. They do not think about, you know, the outcome of the divorce. What happens after divorce? Your life will never ever be, especially when you get to have kids in the mix. So it's usually a very difficult process, and I think people need to think it through properly. People need to properly think it through before getting a divorce. Let's continue the video.
Try to play it cool as if they are not jealous, hurt, and bitter when they see their husbands moving on. But you can see the anger and disappointment through her. Just in case you want more affirmation on how her life is miserable, I went through her page, and here is one of her latest video where she admits on how miserable her life really is.
So there are some crucial things that people don't talk about after you go through a divorce. The fact that the quietness and the emptiness in your home when you don't have your spouse or your children is deafening. You have to really get comfortable with being alone, and it's very uncomfortable. You quickly realize that you are now the center stage of all conversation in your friend group because you're now living this wild and fun life because you're no longer attached to anybody. And I don't know about you, but I spent a lot of my time crying and eating pizza and drinking wine in the bathtub. Being single is glamorized in today's society, and people are saying, yes, good for being single, and you should really just enjoy it. It's so freeing. When really you lost your purpose because you've been supporting this person for X amount of years and supporting their aspirations and their goals and their dreams and their desires, and you lost yourself along the way. So now it's beautiful. You get to find yourself, but it's hard to sit in that and be like, oh, who the f am I? So maybe be a little bit more gentle on the single people in your life.
All these strong, independent, happy, single, living my best life women you see on the internet have the same sad story behind closed doors. They are all crying, miserable, lonely, depressed, bitter, and angry women.
That's not fair. That is not fair! That is not fair!
They want to lead more women astray so that they can all be miserable, because we know that misery loves company. And it's sad that so many young women keep falling for their lies. I have a bonus clip for you that shows the consequences of the government incentivizing women to divorce their husbands.
I do divorces for people that, you know, a woman walks out with $200–300 million. He was an analyst at Goldman Sachs who built a hedge fund and then sold it and then used his trading algorithm to build it up to $500 million. She was hot and slept with him for a while and then stopped and started sleeping with other people and playing tennis and having Botox, and she's going to get half. Like, that's incredible. Like, do you know what he had to do to get that? And what she had to, I'll that guy for $200 million. Are you kidding me? Like, that's insane. That's incredible.
Fellas, as long as these family laws are still in place, you're gonna have to protect yourself at all times. These family laws are literally rewarding women for leaving marriages and relationships. When you get married in the West, it's like giving your wife a loaded weapon that she can use against you and get paid whenever she feels like it. So move accordingly. I'm really glad that you made it this far through my video, but I have a small...
So they have, so they actually have laws that protect and favor women. So it's like, it's like I said, the government or the laws of the country, of the community, actually encourages women to get a divorce. So I think it is way beyond material things right now. According to one of the women, she has everything she needs, but she's not happy, right? You know, when you get to share your space with somebody for like the longest time, and then all of a sudden you get divorced, you're lonely, you're depressed, you're not happy, you become the center of interaction, you get into the dating scene again. Oh my God. And the street is not smiling, to be honest. So I mean, there's a lot of things to lose. I'm not saying you should not get a divorce. You should get a divorce if you think it is appropriate, especially when it is threatening your life, your peace, and your mental health. But before we even get to that point, I think people need to consider, why are you even getting married in the first place? You shouldn't get married for the wrong reasons. And especially when you're getting married and then you're bringing children into that mix. I mean, your children get to suffer for your recklessness. So I think people need to think it through before getting a divorce. You can see that a lot of these women are not happy. I mean, you get back to, I mean, it could be very lonely, and to be a very lonely road. You might have everything you need and all of those things, but you will not have that joy anymore. Especially when you are. Some people, you have friends that, oh, divorce him. Marriage might not sometimes be a bed of roses. Sometimes there's some thorns around. Okay, a lot of people that have successful marriages, they are thriving 40, 50 years in marriage, 60 years in marriage. These people actually got to do the work. They got to do the work. They were patient. They were faithful. They were accommodating. They endured a lot of times. I think it gets, you get better with these things as you get older in the marriage. But the first few years of the marriage, you have to get to tolerate yourself. That's why I also think that now it's becoming this counseling session. I also think that people don't take counseling seriously. Premarital counseling and post-marital counseling, right? Yeah, these things are very important. Anyway, please drop your thoughts about this particular video. It's a bit sensitive, yeah, especially to the women, right? Yeah, so please drop your comments and thoughts, additions, subtractions, or what you think about this particular video. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section below. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, and turn on post notification bell. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye bye.